Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Games Done Quick. Welcome to Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. I am DylanJayFox, and I'm going to hop right into it. I'm going to get this done nice and quick. It's a speedrun, right? That's the goal of it all. So welcome on into Ripto's Rage. If you're over in Europe and you're watching on Twitch, you'll actually notice it's actually called Gateway to Glimmer. If you're over in Japan, it's actually Sparks and Spyroton Demo Tours. It's weird. It has a lot of titles. This game has been my muse for a number of years. It has been something I have dedicated countless time in so many attempts towards throughout the entirety of the last 5 years or so. To explain very simply what you just saw me do, that's our bread and butter mechanic. That's double jumping. You see me jump onto the scenery. It's an X into a square press. It is very quick, and you'll see it literally littered throughout this run. The goal, of course, being to collect 14 talismans, as you might imagine by the title of the category. So here, we are exiting our first level, Glimmer, and heading on over to Idle Springs. And I'm gonna start explaining Idle Springs really fast. On the way, we're gonna collect some gems, which will be important later. We do need 800 of these, the total of which is collected up in the top left corner of the screen. Keep an eye on that if you wanna know roughly where we're at respective to that. So Idle Springs is famous for its tricks, notably a trick called Beetle Proxy. Beetle Proxy is very volatile. It's a reset point, and if you're doing attempts of this category, going for PBs, it oftentimes ends up being a reset for folks. However, we do have a couple attempts at it. I'm gonna line myself up, and if I do this right, very nice. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Nicely done.
All right, so to explain what a proxy is. A proxy is Spyro's hitbox, right? Perspective to another entity in the game. If you are basically perspective to the top or the side or whatever, the game tries to forcibly eject Spyro once he exits a charged state. So you press X during it, especially while you're on top in order to gain vertical momentum, allowing for Spyro to hopefully skip a lot of level and also get a couple of extra gems. Notably, I got the first beetle there. I did miss out on a couple optional gems that I would have really preferred to get, but it's okay. Basically, all it does is bolster our gem count for later, which is gonna be really, really excellent. So here, we're gonna be heading on into Colossus. Very nice, I didn't have to hover or anything like that, very clean. This level has a small soft lock spot, which I'm gonna be very scared of for the next 15 seconds. Notably, this level is very funny because it has these chanting monks throughout. It's like, why, that whole thing. They're really awesome. Stuart Copeland, drummer for the Police, composed the soundtrack for the original 3 Spyro games. There's the chanting. And he used some very interesting sounds throughout the game. But yeah, we do no skip there. That portion where you saw me kind of go out of bounds for that first gate is what it's called. I tried to just talk through it. That way I didn't feel as much nerves about it because again, it is a soft lock. We get through it nice and quick. This Yeti's a little bit mad at us because we just walked in the room, I guess, and I guess this pillar's just gonna fall on him. It's kind of sick. I guess he deserved it. Anyway, that's the Colossus Talisman. We're already 3 talismans down. So after that, gonna be heading right on through the portal here. One thing you'll see me optionally do in different levels is you will occasionally see me use the pause menu to exit. It's very rare in this category just because you're oftentimes very close to the portal. It's faster just to run to it because the pause menu takes about 4.5 years to show up on the screen. So here, I'm gonna go ahead and make my distance across this water, line up for another proxy, this time on this little frog. Very beautiful frog proxy. Gorgeous even, I would say. And we are gonna continue on our merry, merry way over to the wonderful level known as Hurricos, which is iconic for a few different reasons. Notably, the NPCs in this level, as well as Spyro himself, are actually voiced by, oh God, the names escape me. The guy who voices SpongeBob.
The SpongeBob guy.
The SpongeBob guy. Who's the SpongeBob guy?
We'll just go with
the SpongeBob guy.
You can say who you think is the SpongeBob guy in a donation comment.
True. All right, so here we go for a clip. Very nice. Okay. That clip, it doesn't look all that crazy. I swear to you, in runs, it feels like RNG. I skipped his dialogue, but you can get to that. Thank you, Spyro. And he sounds like SpongeBob. Anyway. Tom Kenny, that's his name. It took me until the end.
Audience literally had shouted it out.
I believe it. I can't hear. Awesome. So that's Hurricos, very simple level. Next up, we're gonna be heading over to Sunny Beach. This proxy is very situational. I'm gonna explain it pretty quick. Pretty much, we line up the turtle at the start of the level to push it into a position where we stand on like some kind of specific polygons to jump into its head. And then by pushing our horns into the turtle's eyes, essentially, I know it sounds pretty morbid, we launch Spyro vertically out of this tiny little hole in the roof, which if I do this right, ooh, unfortunate. We'll take a second try. Come on, we got this. Go and line ourselves up. Unlucky. This trick does oftentimes end up as a reset point as well. It's a very challenging proxy. I oftentimes attribute this to being the hardest one for me, but it's all good. We will absolutely just lock in and hit it one of these tries. The reason why we need to do this as well is just because when we, there we go. We'll take 5th. That's honestly super fine. That loses about like 20-ish seconds, give or take, 24 to hitting it first, but we'll absolutely take that. The reason why we need it, though, is because we can't swim through the level, which is going to become apparent in the next split, which is going to be Aquaria Towers. So here's one of those cases where I'm going to exit with the menu. Like I said, it's just faster in some situations. On the way to Aquaria, we're going to grab a couple gems, keep bolstering our gem count. And overall, the vibe of Aquaria is, as the name might imply a little bit, is there's some water in it, shockingly, right? So Aquaria Towers, it's a level where you have to traverse it underwater traditionally. However, by usage of the sheep in the level, which have a different death animation to the sheep in the overworld, they actually like flail around like a little bit and we're able to get a proxy off of them. So we can do it off either the bottom sheep or the top sheep. I'm gonna hope we hit a bottom sheep because I will be very hype. It's a good lineup. Not quite. We get up here at least, though, which does save us a little bit of time. Hit the second one. Very nice, baby. We will love... This is a gorgeous... This is actually, I think, this could be a PB. I'd love a PB at GDQ. That'd be fire.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. And we're going to hop on over here, grab our 6th talisman. This is the final talisman for this homeworld summer forest. And as we exit through this portal, I'd like to take the time to hand the mic on over to my wonderful host, JD, for anything you might want to share, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. We have so much love coming in for you, Dylan. We have $25 from Caitlin from Human Resources saying, "Hi, Dylan. Human Resources here. You're awesome. Spyro is awesome. Seeing you both on the big stage is amazing. Love you, big dog. By the way, trans rights."
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for that, Caitlin.
Love you.
I do want to remind everyone about an open bid war for the Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers, where you get to determine the ending. Will it be Successor of the Bow or Jar Full of Medicine? The power is in your hands.
All right, very, very nice. So here we are in the Crush boss fight. This boss fight, basically what we're gonna be doing is we're looking to use the lava pool outside to damage abuse on the lava itself in order to skip his attack animations, which are rather slow. I'm doing it the fastest way you can with some exceptions. I'm taking it a little bit passively because if I don't, I could die. And that's probably a little bit slow sometimes. I'm not sure. That's just kind of what the Rixer told me in his Spyro 2 video that's definitely coming out soon. I'm not gaslighting anybody, I promise.
It'll happen, right?
Absolutely, you just gotta say it will, and then maybe it will. I died, that's not good.
Generally,
Ricky, is that not good? It's all good. I missed a double jump input there. If you do the X into square a little bit fast, sometimes Spyro will just kind of get a weird, like he'll fall down sort of animation. That's all good, it's not a big deal. We're just gonna move on and just restart the fight. It'll lose us, give or take, about like 20 to 30 seconds or something like that. I'm really bad at time despite being a speedrunner in all honesty.
But you are still going amazingly and blazingly fast. Let's hear it for DylanJayFox, everyone!
Much love, JD. Much love to you, partner.
DylanJayFox. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I screwed that.
Hey, listen, while we're at it, can we please get a round of applause for JD for doing a wonderful job hosting thus far?
Oh my gosh. Well,
I died again. I actually just forgot what hit I was on.
Oh no.
That's fine. It's again no big deal. I'm actually gonna play this fight like really safely from here. If you have anything else you'd like to share, I more or less showcased the fight. Feel free to shout out anything with the Prevent Cancer Foundation or anything like that.
There's been so much love coming in supporting PCF. I do want to share you have a $500 donation coming from Witsend saying, always love seeing Spyro in the marathon. Best of luck to Dylan on the 14 tally and bone dance runs. Great start to the week. And we have a $1,000 donation. This one comes from Buff Pup saying, I am so excited for AGDQ every year like a national holiday. Thank you to everyone for running this amazing event. Happy speed running and donate plasma. Buff Pup, thank you so much for that generous donation towards the Prevent Cancer Foundation. We have almost raised $40,000 for PCF!
Holy. Let's see that. Come on. Incredible. Thank you all so much for the donations. As JD just so eloquently mentioned, it's a phenomenal cause. Anything helps. So, Crush is out of the way, fortunately, after the third try at it. Finally. We are going to move on into our next level here, collect our next talisman called Crystal Glacier. This level coming up is a Swiss Army knife of strats, is what I oftentimes like to refer to it as, strictly because there's so many options. And honestly, you need to get practice with each of them if you want to have solid splits if you're doing runs of this game. The first strat that you're gonna do is you're gonna do a little double jump over the chasm at the start, and then there's an immediate proxy on the snowball across the way, which I'm going to go for. If I miss those, there's a couple of different sproters, which I'll explain what those are a bit later. I didn't like the line on that snowball, so I just decided to omit it and get the gems instead. I'm gonna do a little sproter on this wall, which is similar to the inputs of a double jump. Hit that, close. And then we're gonna go for a sproter on this wall. I'll explain that in a second here. Come on. Very nice, let's go. Okay, that is like the third best thing you can do in this level. And I know that sounds not great, but it's also genuinely the hardest of the three. A sproter is similar to a double jump where, like I said, it's an X into a square press, except you're doing it on a sloped wall, and you're doing it in a kind of rhythmic fashion. So you're chaining them back to back to back to back. And the goal of it, of course, to be to hopefully gain or maintain height. In that case, we were gaining height, trying to make it on top of that ridge. Very good, very clean. And our gem count, 349, is a phenomenal number to be entering our next level on, which is going to be Skilo's Badlands. So one thing I neglected to mention, which is kind of coming up right now, is that this game has essentially what are called sister levels, is what I like to refer to them as, where basically it has one version and then it has another version that correlates to it. So these guys are the same ice guys we just saw in Crystal Glacier, except for they're in the Stone Age, I think, or something. Skilo's Badlands is a very hard level. There's a lot of intricacies and it's really difficult. Anyway, it's over. So
Lincoln, you miss it.
Yeah. This is also the level where we'll be returning in the Bone Dance run after the 14 Talisman run itself. So yeah. Anyway, they also were like in that cutscene, they're like recording like dinosaurs like eating their friends. It's really messed up. This game is really, I don't know how it's easy for everyone. But anyway, we are gonna go ahead and continue on over to Breeze Harbor, where I'm kind of debating on something in my head. I've been thinking about, there's like a little devil on my shoulder telling me, should I do massless? Should I do massless? I think I should do massless. So when I first started running this category, there was a runner by the name of 2% Milk. 2% Milk is famed for one term and one term alone. Massless is free. So much so that this trick is actually incredibly difficult and, oh, very close. That's actually crazy that robbed me of it. That should have made. It's a very genuinely difficult and volatile trick where it can save you 2 seconds but lose you 20. I will omit it on the second try just because I don't want to spend too much time here. But that first try should have worked. I don't know why it didn't. Anyway, we're gonna collect the Breeze Harbor Talisman, all good. And we will, again, continue on our way. And as we exit this level, there is a trick called Climbeless, which I could explain, but I'd rather talk to you a bit candidly here. I'd rather talk to you a little bit about what we're doing here today, right? Well, the wonderful folks here at GDQ have afforded me this opportunity to run 14 talisman here. However, the reason that this whole thing's occurring is for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. And if you don't know about the Prevent Cancer Foundation, it says it in the name. We're looking to prevent cancer. We're looking to find a solution to a problem that so many people face. And truly, and I say this with no amount of uncertainty, every dollar you donate, every single share on this stream, every single moment from this that you enjoy and you share can help us find a solution to this awful problem. So, all that being said, if you are at all able to, please, please, please get your donations in, and feel free to use #WeWantSpyro if you'd like them to be directed to me during either the Bone Dance run or the rest of this run. Feel free to put that in your donation message. So here, we're going through Scorch. Thank you, folks. Much appreciated. We're heading on over. We're talking to 2021 Lumi Laura right here to get the Scorch Talisman. And this time we are going to exit the portal. It actually is identical if you do the pause menu or exit the portal. I just like seeing him kind of like fade out into the portal. I don't know, it's like a satisfying thing. So I usually prefer to do that. And this next split, to put it very simply, is one of the scarier in the run. So this is Fracture Hills. This contains a trick called Satyрлus, which is unique and dynamic to itself, and it will involve me utilizing different camera manipulations in order to not spawn the end of level NPC until I land inside of her talk box. If I look at her even once before then, she will despawn and I will have to free the satyrs or exit the level in order to go ahead and give it another try. So I'm gonna lock in because I'm that guy and I'm gonna hit the trick. That's just how it works, I don't know. So here's what we're doing. We're turning our camera over here. We're gonna do a bit of a blind double jump this way, hover on into here, and we're up against like where the end of level talisman is. We're gonna push ourselves up here, do a double jump onto here. I'm gonna line myself up really nice. Very good. That didn't work. Okay, I'm giving it one more try.
You got this.
We're giving it one more try. That should have worked. That should have worked. That was pretty much what you wanted. I just needed to hold upright like a little bit more. It was very close though. It's all good. We'll go in for a second try. And if I do not, I will free the satyrs and accept my L. Also, another thing to note right now is our gem count's 535. We are looking excellent. We are looking splendid on that count. So we are very much doing well in the way of not needing to focus on getting backups later in the run. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump over across here. Make our way on up here to the ferry. Walk around the same way you saw me do last time. And go ahead, hover on in. This actually is a lot harder than it looks, I promise. And we're gonna go up here. Adjust ourselves. I'm not sure if I like my starting position. Very good. Okay, sweet, let's go, baby.
Yo!
We'll take a second try.
And you know what else is sweet? We just crossed $40,000
Whoa!
for PCF!
All right, folks, listen, I know this is asking a lot, and I'm gonna shoot for the stars, because why not, right? Listen, 50,000 by the end of it, imagine the scenes. Just imagine it. And if you love Spyro and you want to see him more on the marathon, what better way to tell GDQ that than to be like, yo, this run raised like 20 grand. This is sick. Seriously, if it's something that you want to see more of, be it from me or one of the other excellent Spyro runners, I genuinely mean it. Make sure you get your donos in, #WeWantSpyro, because I know I want Spyro. And here we're heading on into Magma Cone. This level is very, very simple. However, it does involve a little bit of minutia. Notably, we need to kill these two enemies on our way. We need to charge through them. And what that does is it activates a power-up gate. Power-up gates are activated via souls in this game, or like the little like white balls that you kind of like see floating around the level when you like kill an enemy. And you see it landing there in the power-up gate, and there's the second one activating the power-up gate. This activates super flight for Spyro, allowing us to scale to the top of this magma cone, negating our need to utilize the climb power-up, and basically just lets us get through this level nice and quick. That was really smooth, that was really good. All that being said, for as exciting as this run is in general, every run has a annoying or not fun split. This next split is quite literally just an escort mission where I'm going to just run and press charge. So JD, my wonderful, wonderful host, if you have anything that you would like to share with the wonderful people watching here in attendance and those watching around the world, please, absolutely feel free to.
So much love that's coming in. We have a $100 donation from Caramel saying, Dylan, my king, my goats, good luck with your run. Your passion for this game runs through your veins, and we're all so proud of you in chat. Thank you so much, Caramel, for those heartfelt words and the donation to PCF. And DylanJayFox, you are absolutely rocking it.
Thank you very much, my friend. If you have anything else you'd like to share, like I said, this could be like a good minute or so. So anything else you want to just kind of dive into, absolutely feel free.
Phenomenal. We also have much praise from Zyfels, who donates $10 saying, Dylan, you're an absolute legend and an inspiration to the PlayStation Nation. And I can't wait to see you crush SIR first try for a great cause. P.S. I'm right behind you. So don't look. We also have $50 from Lionheart D, who shares a little bit of DylanJayFox lore, I think. Dylan, bro, thanks for letting me borrow your Ferrari after you saved those puppies from that burning building. Anyways, good luck.
Hey, listen, the Ferrari's got to get loaned out every once in a while. It sits in the garage too much.
Oh my goodness. We also got a $50 donation from Downcast Harp supporting PCF, saying, donating during one of my favorite games of all time, Spyro 2.
Right game to pick as one of your favorites of all time. I'm just going to say that.
Exactly.
Love that.
Good for a few more?
Yeah, you got a couple minutes.
Awesome. We have $25 from Jake that says, love watching this alongside my sweetie who loves Spyro 2. Let's prevent cancer. It's always really sweet hearing people being able to share in this passion together, whether you are partners, friends, family, you name it. And events like AGDQ and showcases from folks like DylanJayFox really help to accentuate that in really special ways.
I could not agree more. Speedrunning is something that brings people together in a way that I can only describe as almost like familial in some ways. And it's truly incredible the things that this community has been able to do for me over the years. Just to put it very bluntly, to speedrunning in general, thank you. To the PlayStation Nation, thank you especially. To Spyro, thank you. So here we're heading into Zephyr. This is our final talisman, folks. And you might be wondering, it doesn't end after we collect the talisman. We have to fight the final boss and stuff. But this level is a nice little stopgap right before it. It involves a fairly precise proxy that was only found a couple of years ago. It is balloon proxy. So we're gonna start off by doing some out of bounds movement there via the double jump and stuff that you just saw me do. We're gonna jump up on this ridge, do a little bit of a flop jump, turn left, bang. We get a proxy, unfortunately not enough height. We wanna make it into that talisman room. Unfortunately, I did my X-Press a little bit later than I wanted to, but it's all good. We're gonna hit it with these 2 cannon shots, and this is still saving plenty of time over what you would do normally in the level. And now, as we exit this one, we're gonna be entering into what I can very much surmise as my muse in this game. The creature that keeps me coming back, her name is Gulp, and let me tell you this much. She's mean, she's green, and she's going to give us a lot of problems. So, we are gonna go ahead, exit through here. We are gonna get a warp from Alora because she has registered that we have collected all 14 talismans, thus taking us to the Gulp door. And now we will fall in a hole, which auspiciously is just endless, and then eventually we'll fall into an arena, which is cool. So this is Gulp. To put it so simply, this boss fight is RNG caked on top of RNG. So the first phase, or the first set of eggs that are gonna drop from this, are gonna be 2 barrels. I'm a psychic, that's how I know. No, it's just how the game works. So the first hit, you're always scheduled to get a barrel form, and then the second hit you're supposed to technically do via utilizing some bombs. However, it is not something that we're gonna be looking to do. Instead, we're gonna push this barrel all the way over here, and I'm gonna line up on Gulp, push that over there, and then push the second barrel into Gulp, and that will bypass the bomb phase. We want to avoid bombs in general in this boss fight just because they're kind of inconvenient, especially if we get like triple bombs. That's also very inconvenient. So the eggs, and this is why I say it's RNG caked on top of RNG, one of the eggs that we're supposed to just dropped on top of Gulp and exploded. And I can't do anything about that. It is just an unfortunate circumstance, and this boss fight is, again, famous for being a bit brutal. But we're gonna get a triple for our troubles. Very, very nice.
Nice.
Not often you see those. But fortunately, those eggs lined up in such a way where I was able to do that, even despite the kind of rough RNG. It gave us a little bit of a hype moment off the back of it. And here's where I was talking about what you don't want to get: triple bombs, baby. Hey, we got triple to make up for it. You know, we're already evened out on the RNG. So hopefully, as long as these next two are doubles, we'll be able to skip through. So yeah, these pterodactyls drop now at this point, either bombs, barrels, or rockets. It could be any combinations of the items. Ideally, it is more of the rocket and barrel variety, but as you just saw, it can occasionally be 3 bombs, and then you just have to look at the game and say, well, I hate you. And then you do another run. And then you keep doing runs until you're at like 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, and then you keep going, and then you lose your mind. And here, I should be able to line up. Nice, that's the last double. That gets us right through Gulp. And listen, we are coming into the final act of this run. So here we are going to go ahead and skip this cutscene, and we are into Winter Tundra. Now, from here, we're going to skip a second cutscene, and we have a proxy to combat first. It is Penguin Proxy, is the final proxy of the run that I do. So here we're going to go ahead and get ourselves over here. We're going to double jump up here, charge the Penguin, land on his hitbox, get a proxy up. Very nice. Very good. Okay, sweet.
Nice.
And now as we enter into Dragon Shores, the post-game level from underneath, I'm not going to talk about Dragon Shores. I'm going to talk about the next trick, because it takes a lot longer to explain than I have. So, to put it very simply, the trick coming up after Dragon Shores, after I exit and I grab this fireball power-up, this trick that's coming up is very simply the hardest trick in Spyro speedrunning. It is called Sproder into Ripto. It is a trick that I myself took over 60 hours to hit a single time. It is a trick that I have poured my time, my effort, and pretty much everything I have into. And with that in mind, it's very much deemed not marathon safe. However, when it's DylanJayFox with the controller, I promise you, it's plenty safe. So we're gonna climb up these stairs, and we are gonna line up, and we are gonna hit Sproder into Ripto. Never mind. Instantly eats my double jump. Love it. That's fine. That doesn't count as an attempt. I did that for Zyphals in the back. So here we're gonna go ahead and line up again, and we are gonna go ahead and double jump into this, here. Yes, baby!
Let's go!
Let's go! All right, listen, the first one didn't count. That wasn't a real attempt. I was just joking. That was first try. That was as close to first try at a marathon as we can get. Oh my goodness. That trick, to put it simply, is a series of about 7 to 8 sets of precise inputs. It's not just like you're doing one press, you're doing X into square, while also adjusting around corners. It's incredibly difficult, and it hurts my hands to practice, which is why it took me like 60 hours. But here we are on the final boss, and we're gonna be coming up on time fairly shortly. And you know, as we do, dude, I can't believe how well this run's gone. Despite the crush deaths, without the crush deaths, this run is like a 25 or a 24. It's a great, phenomenal run. I'm sure even now it's still very good. But here we're gonna be chasing Ripto around during his pterodactyl phase. He's just riding on the back of this guy, trying to get Spyro as best he can. And we are gonna be hitting him 4 more times from here. These first 6 are all kind of done in a kind of weird way, where he will kind of scatter around the ring. But then for the final 2, he kind of has some preset pathing where he's gonna hook in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hover, adjust myself to get underneath, and then go and hit him. That's time.
Time. GG's. Oh my goodness.
I was reaching for my split key. I don't know if you saw that at the end.
It's easy muscle memory.
It really is. I do it a lot.
Goodness. What a hype run. I've got another hype thing to share if you'd like before we continue to roll on, DylanJayFox.
Absolutely.
All right, Dylan. We have a $5,000 donation.
What?
That's right. From Stump, who shares shout outs to the always wonderful Spyro and Crash communities. Since it was Spyro 1 120%, that was my start in speedrunning. Can we get the rest of the way to 50K before this run ends before DylanJayFox walks off this stage? Folks, we are over $47,000, and I think that this can happen because we're not done yet. We still got a bone dance to show off.
Yes, we do. Folks, get your donations in as fast as possible here. JD, if you'd like to continue, I'm going to start the bone dance run. I assume we're rolling right into it. Is that correct?
I think so.
So I'm going to get ourselves to the start menu. I will go ahead and say start on the splits and everything, and we'll get rolling. And then from there, the first little bit's pretty boring. Until I'm in the crush fight, you can continue to basically go on if you'd like, JD.
Love it. Excellent. So we got $20 from White Paws saying, my goats, love you, Dylan. I'm so proud of seeing you at the big stage.
Love you, White Paws. Love everybody who's taken the time, donate it. Again, it's a phenomenal cause. However, we're gonna get right into that run and go. Feel free to continue, I apologize.
Here we go. No worries. I wanted to sneak that one in before go. We had $100 from Lopcode saying, hyped for another great GDQ. Love a Spyro speedrun. Trans rights.
Absolutely.
I also want to share $50 from AD saying, with this dono, I want to say hi to my brother who took the whole week off because of this event. Both grew up with Spyro and love the series. Good luck to the runner and happy GDQ. Thank you so much for that donation to PCFAD. We also have $25 from Jmart saying, longtime watcher, first time in the crowd, first time donating. Never had a memory card as a kid, had to beat Spyro 2 in one sitting every time I played.
I couldn't imagine.
It took all day. Looking forward to seeing it destroyed in a half hour. And boy, howdy did we.
Well, thank you so much for that donation, truly. I'm glad that you grew up on this game. And listen, if you're interested in learning it, I did make a beginner's guide for that category I just ran. So feel free to, check it out and check out resources. It's an awesome game to run, I promise.
So
feel free
fun.
to continue.
We also have a $100 donation from Zwaldowski, also saying, hello from the audience in Pittsburgh. I'm so excited about the Spyro 2 bonus run and the whole week. Stay warm and defeat cancer. Well, we are watching it right now, Zwaldowski, and we have been seeing some amazing speedrunning action from Dylan and the rest of the runners already.
Yep. So just to explain what I'm doing here, you guys remember we collected talismans last time to get a crush. So there's a reason it's called 14 talisman and not 8%. Pretty much you can just go ahead and do a couple of boss skips to get into crush and into gulp. I just find 14 talisman to be way more interesting for me personally. However, we also utilize the crush skip here in Bone Dance. So in Bone Dance itself, the goal, very simply, is to get to Skelos Badlands and watch a funny skeleton man dance a little bit. That's it. It's a very simple goal. It's a noble one even, I would say. But here, what we're doing is we're just kind of going through the motions here on Crush again. Once again, doing all of the damage abuses that I will be doing here. Just kind of going ahead and watching him run off the button, flaming him, watching him run off the button, flaming him, etc. And the meatballs fall from the sky and hit him. I always thought they looked like meatballs as a kid. I don't know if anyone else did.
I see it.
Yeah. It looks a little bit different in Reignited, but like in the original game, like I especially just see like just brown nice meatballs. Kind of makes me want some spaghetti. Anyway, so here I'm not going to die in Crush because that would be not good, and I would never do that in a marathon run, ever. So here I'm going to go ahead, let him charge at me, get ourselves off the button, off the position, get ourselves some sheep for security and safety, and finish off Crush the first time. If only this were the 14 talisman run. Anyway. That's all good. Look at that. First try Crush. Never seen. Incredible. All right. So here, like I said, we're going to be heading right to Skelos Badlands, which is straight ahead of us. And then we're going to be doing, again, Bone Dance. So again, this category, the bread and butter of it really, truly is the movement here in this level. It actually makes it a really interesting category. It's also very interesting in Spyro 3. It does have a counterpart in that game, which hopefully maybe you guys will see in the future from somebody. But here at the start of the level, we're going to go ahead and do some interesting like charging to grab a rock. We do not have access to the fireball power-up like we did at the end of the game in 14 talisman. So instead, we are... I bonked. That's sad. Just grabbing this rock. We're going to come up here on this spot approximately. Okay, I didn't press circle, apparently. I thought I did. And we're going to... Oh, okay. I'm just going to go and just shoot him down normally. That was... I don't know why. It just feels weird. We're going to go ahead and just shoot this guy down, essentially. I'm just going to do it the plain Jane intended way and just shoot him down like this. Do it like super slow. That's fine. So from here, what we're looking to do is we're collecting 8 bones across the level from these little lava lizards. That one there, whenever I was doing runs of this to kind of prep for the event itself, was always the one that gave me issues, but it never gave me like that issues, so that's interesting. So we're gonna jump over here. Normally you need to get a power up in order to stand on this lava. We're just gonna kind of take the damage abuse in all honesty. All right, we're taking another damage abuse there. It's not ideal. And here we're charging against the bottom of this because it allows us to break that a little bit faster. You can do that a little bit differently where you actually do it while in the air. It's just really precise, and I'm gonna be honest, I would just lose another like 10 minutes to it. All right, I was gonna try to do cap bat here, but instead I'm just gonna opt to do the kind of basic strat of doing a bit of a flop. Very good, actually. That's very difficult.
Nice.
That flop jump is like so much harder than the actual cap bat proxy, but I'm just bad at the cap bat proxy in all honesty. From here, we're gonna go ahead and collect 2 more bones, and then we quite literally are just pretty much done. We just gotta watch a skeleton man dance, and then on fade out, that's time again. Very actually not bad, aside from missing that initial bone. All right, very good. We're gonna talk to him and collect our orb from him, which is the main MacGuffin of this game. However, it's the only orb you'll see today. And he's gonna dance. He's gonna dance. I'm just gonna let him dance. I'm not even gonna try to interrupt. He's kind of crazy. He's doing like, dude, I couldn't do this. Is he okay? Jeez. All right, and that's it, that's time.
Nicely done.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I was told I have a little bit of time here at the end just to speak a bit candidly to all y'all, if that's all good by you, JD, if you have nothing you want to read beforehand.
Let's cede the microphone to you, Dylan. Well done.
Appreciate it. So, folks, I want to speak a bit candidly about how I got here, right? So, a couple months ago, I'm grinding for Twitch Partner, and I'm playing 14 Talisman, the category you saw me initially do. And the whole time, I'm like trying to get to a 23XX. It's a very coveted time. It's something I've been striving for years. And I get to Twitch Partner, and it's about 2 weeks out from the time where GDQ submissions close. And to put it very simply, I just didn't know if I felt like I was enough, or I felt like it was the right time, or if I was the right runner, if it would be the right circumstance. And so I set myself an ultimatum. If I get to 23 by the deadline, I'll submit. And so a couple days out from the deadline, I achieve a 24:02. Just a couple seconds off. I choked in the final boss, and that really sucked. But then on the last run of quite literally the last day on the deadline, I get a 23:54. And I even then wasn't sure if it was right for me to be here. But I submit, and I obviously know in my head, like, getting a PB doesn't guarantee you're in GDQ. But this has always been a lifelong goal for me. Ever since I started this hobby, it has been a massive goal to be on this stage and to showcase something I love. So I wake up on the day that the schedule drops, not to look at the schedule, because I'm just not, or not the schedule, the games list, sorry. And I don't wake up and look at the schedule or the games list or anything. I just wake up to 60, 70, 80 DMs from people saying congratulations. Genuinely, I'm not upset about it. I'm actually very happy. It's humbling that people care that much. And truly, and I mean this, if you're out there and you like speedrunning and you like this hobby, if you watch it, if you pursue it in any way, keep doing it. Keep trying and give yourself those chances, because eventually, hopefully, you'll be sitting here showing something that you love to a lot of people, and hopefully making a lot of money while you do it. I'm humbled, truly, by the donations. I'm flabbergasted. Thank you guys, everybody at home. Donate to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. I'm the son of a mechanic, the man who hung the moon, and I promise you this: the rest of this event's gonna be phenomenal. Thank you, and thank God I have you.